In this episode, we're discussing APECoin staking, fine art NFTs, and Renga, the disaster of a project, which is going to zero inevitably, but experiencing a temporary pump. Who gives a shit? Not me. I sold mine. Nothing in this episode's financial advice. Never is, never was. If you end up buying something on this show that we ended up buying, you got pretty much a 95% chance of losing all of your money, because that's how we've been trading over the past few weeks, months, and year. Some of us got a little bit lucky, in 2021, absolutely experienced a pump there, made some cash. Now we're sort of trying to figure out why we can't make cash as consistently anymore. But tune in and maybe you'll figure out the way through it and how to accomplish that in contrast to us. Kix and Pio, what's going on?
You got to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Get after it. Smash the subscribe. Lick the like. Love to have you here.
Love to have you here.
Well, Renga's pumping again. It's pumping right now as we do the show. It's at a 1.37 Ethereum floor with consistent volume. We saw a pullback as low as 0.8 Ethereum. That seems to be the bottom that was experienced actually in the past 48 hours. We still don't really know why the market is favoring this so much, besides the fact that it seems like there isn't anything else new that the market's as interested in. We thought that maybe the mystery bulls would be that thing on the back of Digidaigaku pumping. Wow, they're at 0.09 now. I think that there's a lot of unknowns surrounding that, and it's not like Zed Run was a smash hit crossover success in the NFT world. And as a result, favor left those mystery bulls, despite the fact that Zed Run was backed by A16Z. I think that the jury's out on crypto gaming.
Yeah, I got trapped by the mystery bulls with the thesis of, oh, these are going to be the next Digidaigakus, which never happens. If anyone is ever like, oh, this is the next, like X is the next Y, right? And Y happened within the last 2 months. The second one is never a good idea. So I decided just to ride this all the way down, doing a little tax loss harvesting. Going to lose about a full 1.3 ETH on this. I literally top bought at 0.7 and then forgot I put an offer in at 0.57. Didn't find that out until about 2 days ago when I saw two mystery bulls in the bag, not one. I'm like, why did that happen? So pretty much erased a significant portion of my early Renga gains just with that one dumb trade. And that's the beauty of NFTs and just the markets in general, is it keeps you humble and it's just teaching you every day. But on the Renga side, yeah, nice little pump up from here. I think the tricky thing is in a bear market, there's just a ton of volatility, and there's lower volume. So you're going to get a lot of price swings. Yeah, I mean, I think that if Renga is going to be like a really good project, it probably could sit in the 1 to 2 range for a while and consolidate before like another move up. I've always thought that like Renga potentially could be like sort of like a Doodles play, in the sense of it's like this like unique kind of art style, and that's what attracts people to the equation. Because I wonder if Doodles launched right now,
would anybody give a shit?
Yeah, I don't know. Or
well,
would it be like Renga price action?
The narrative of Poopy Cat being a long-time crypto guy would probably favor Doodles and the artwork. Yeah, it would basically be an identical situation to Renga, I think.
The Anomura, those the biggest problem for those is that they kind of look like garbage, like the things that revealed.
Yes, someone said that and I didn't sell immediately. I should have immediately sold when I heard that.
They just look so bad. So those are the empty bulls, Pio. If you just look up Anomura, or if you click on the collection, it links to it. I'm not sure what the hell.
Yeah, I mean, I got we do pixel art every day at Crypto Raiders, and yeah, you can do much better than this.
I mean, it just feels like, well, and also now you just
animated. Oh, I'm going to get you on my little crabby crap. What's weird to me is there's literally a game out there called Crabata, and it's literally a play to earn game with crabs that battle in an Axie Infinity like way with some DeFi tied into it. These guys did the crabs too. That one's That one would look a lot cooler if it was 1 ETH.
I mean, that's definitely accurate. I just wonder, like, I mean, maybe the game has already been built out. I have no idea. It is wildly cheap at this point, which just makes me
buy the dip, maybe, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, but 0.13 is still $167, but I'm looking at my wallet saying, I mean, oh, and can you change the name of these? Is that why it's called this? Murray, the sneaky defender of the Hanging Sky Gardens.
I can't imagine that a customer came up with that because, these are definitely
all like lined up.
Yeah.
These are all generated.
Yeah. An NFT person would have literally said like poop on a stick. Like literally,
yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, we had it. We at Crypto Raiders, you can change the title of your NFT because it's your like character. And we had to put some serious profanity filtering on that feature.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal. I mean, Pierre, are you still holding your mystery bowl?
No, I sold it. I saw this coming. The only thing that I didn't see coming was the little pump. So I sold it at 0.3, which was a local bottom the day before the reveal, right? So
you gained and then lost?
Yeah, no, I definitely, in NFTs, unless you basically have a huge win, right? The math you're doing is like whatever the number you sell it at is. Let's say you sell something at 0.65. The math is times 0.875, right? So you're almost losing 15% when you sell it no matter what. So if you sell something at 0.65, you really sold at like 0.57. So I made money first. Then I did like the content buy where I bought at your exit point on the show. And then the day before the reveal, they were at 0.31. And I was like, okay. The day before the reveal, they're at 0.31. These are going way down. Like I've been around the block. These are going way down. What I didn't see coming is that night they went from 0.31 to 0.43. I sold down at like 0.3 because I was like, I want out of this. I know what's going to happen. I knew that exactly this was going to happen. This was going to be the result. So I didn't catch that little pump, but I didn't want to risk not selling it overnight. And I didn't see that 0.41 coming. But I knew that this was going to be the ultimate result. That 0.09 was going to be the ultimate result.
Damn, I wish you told me that.
If it's pulling back the day before the reveal, you have to expect a 50% pullback post reveal. This is more than that.
Yeah.
So, or it's two assets. You have the empty bowl and the result of the bowl. So you have to, I guess, combine the floors. It's still less than 0.3.
So I bought the first one for 0.73 during that pump.
That was the proper top.
I then sold at 0.58. So I lost. I then had another sale. Oh no. Then I bought back in at 0.566 and I sold again at 0.43. So I lost on this.
Doing better than me though. Doing better than me over here. So it's two separate things. You can combine them together. I'm just going to hold mine. I just hope that these things get caught up in some sort of gaming pump. And
like your pickle Dow situation.
Exactly. Just going to hold these out for just a narrative play here. You know what's interesting? I just noticed Sandbox Land is ripping right now. That floor's up to 1.63. It was like down in the 1 ETH range a couple of weeks ago, I want to say.
Are you more bearish, bullish, or neither on Sandbox right now based on where they're at?
I was just thinking that down at 1 ETH, you know, when like ETH is, you know, these like at like $1,500 a plot. I don't know. It still sounds kind of ridiculous, but you can start to be like, huh, you know, when they were like $10,000 for one plot of land, right? Because that's what they were trading for one, you know, now we're 90% off of those. So, I mean, they start to kind of get a little bit more attractive. You know, I still think that the challenge is, you know, what percentage of the people that are holding these lands like actually want to develop them, right? Same with other deeds, right? Like what percentage of those people actually have the knowledge, the willpower, and like the funds to develop something that actually attracts players to their land.
We need that sound clip. Knowledge. No, from Ty Lopez.
Ty Lopez, man.
Knowledge.
The thing is, so they were supposed to ship the other 100,000 other deeds in August. If you remember, that was the original date. What do you make of that?
I mean, it sounds like they delayed. There were some rumors that they may inevitably postpone that. I don't know what the deal with that is.
What if they just nix it?
That would be one of the most bullish signals that could exist here. Quick question what did you sell your Coda at, Pio?
$32,000.
They're down to 16.
Woo! So at some point, you have to think that the code is a buy, since every other asset in the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem has received some sort of benefit, so to speak. The apes and mutants received land. If you had a dog paired with a mutant, you received extra APECoin. The dogs are on the roadmap now, and I think I think people are also expecting something for the dogs, some sort of gamification based on the roadmap. And you see a 7.5 ETH floor price, which is what, 10 grand. So the dogs are holding 66% of the value of the Codas right now.
Well, that's also because they give you access to yielding on ape token.
They do. I didn't know that.
This staking bullshit is ridiculous. I just don't buy it. But
I can't believe I didn't sell my Coda for 100 grand.
So do
I
you still have
with
it?
a buddy, and we're just like, hey, let's hold and see what fucking $100,000 just printed out of thin air, just let's hold it.
That's what I saw. Definitely
goes all
sold
the way
it.
down to 16, goes up to 30. Let's not sell there. Let's try to ride it back up, baby.
This is a low. This is a low for Codas. Codas were neck and neck with mutants, and I guess this is a slight, what's the word I'm looking? Decoupling from mutants, probably because the mutants are getting benefit from the fact that people will be able to stake the APECoin.
Yeah, why can't I stake a Coda? The Codas should actually be the wolves in the wolf game. We should be able to steal the staked coins from the mutants and the Bored Apes. They should have gamified it.
Chromie Squiggles coming down. Well, they're at 10. No, they've been basically flat. They came as low as 8, but
yeah, we're seeing a lot of USDC repricing. I thought that was pretty significant when Pio brought up that mutants were kind of just pegging to a 20K USD floor. And I think that there's probably a lot of projects that are going to operate like that. They're kind of
what are apes 100?
Let's see.
Apes went below 100. I saw one sell at 90, which is interesting to me.
I haven't paid as close attention to apes. Yeah, it looks like they're 100 flat.
Yeah, right on the nose, baby. That's what we call USDC auto repricing. We've been running some algo bots on NFTs. That's why
actually what you just mentioned, Kix, would be the next killer feature for one of these marketplaces is give you repricing in ETH automatically based on your USD value. That as an option would be really fascinating because a lot of people are viewing it that way. And that's where things get messed up with this is that we're all racing to get liquidity because we're afraid of the price of ETH. But if we weren't afraid of the price of ETH and that didn't matter as much because frankly, it's an unnecessary complexity. Dude,
you know what? It blew my mind, Nick. I can't believe I can't agree with you more because I was talking to someone about APECoin and Dust, right? And when both of these coins were used to be able to mint things, one being the tubes, right? The Utes, and then one being other deeds, right? Both times, the market effect is that you had people buying in at wildly different USDC prices for the same asset, right? So you have people who bought Ape at $11, minting other deeds land, and their average cost is pretty much half of the people that bought APECoin at $22 right before. Same with Dust. The exact same thing happened, right? And I was sitting there thinking about that, and then it led me to exactly what you said, which is that ETH is just a less volatile kind of exact same thing of that, right? And then you go to the next thing, and it's why don't we trade all of these things in USDC? You're still paying ETH and gas. It's not like it's making ETH any, it's not like you're I'm bearish ETH. You're just saying some price stability in these USDC wise in these assets, and also the DXY is going up, so we'd be killing it.
Sorry, what's DXY?
The dollar index.
Oh, got it. I never refer to that, but there we go. I like that. Yeah, the USD, I do think that that's something that would be interesting for us to actually see. Dude, the
chart there.
Pulling up Renga, Renga is going to be dead. This is this is Invisible Friends launching at that time, and basically in a bear market. And the reality is them trying to like.
Invisible Friends was down only on reveal though. These bottomed after reveal and then pumped.
Invisible Friends, it seems as though run by an artist, just Renga. I know Renga is Dirty Robot. However, the relationship with Weenu, I think, is a major difference maker there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of speculation about how that's going to play out. I got a bigger question. A lot of the speculation that we've had around 10KTF feels like it's not playing out. Outside of the fact who, ran that, in the sense that Beeple's associated with it. But part of me is wondering about this actually being like they're creating narrative and engagement, but where like the conversion over, like a lot of us were expecting the mecha apes to become something. Then they post like, well, the mechs had no neck. And I was
you guys
like,
are paying like $100 million for like, Disney Light, 5-second clips.
And so I'm wondering,
I'm
like,
roasted so hard for saying that. I don't even know how to say that out loud.
But I'm sort of wondering, like, when is this going to manifest? Like, we're doing a lot of speculation around what it's building up to, and just these partnerships being associated. I will say they're doing a great job at keeping a community engaged. I saw a lot of people during the last competition, whatever the task was last week or this week, when they had to go fight kaiju or something like that. Was anybody? Do you not see those tweets show up in your timeline?
Yeah, no, I saw it. I was like, oh, you guys are fighting Godzilla. Like, cool, good for you.
Yeah, but then it was like, oh, well, we didn't win the battle. Maybe next time. And I'm like,
oh yeah, because like they didn't get like bronze across the board and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a staking game. That's all it is. It's a staking game. I mean, that's what Gabe Ledon's doing with Digi-Daigaku, and he's probably going to run laps on like interesting mechanics and staking games.
He's doing a staking game
to start. Yeah, I mean,
well, he's going to do a crypto game.
Yeah, he's going to make a real game, but like right now, like the things that you can do right now with your assets is you're going to be able to like stake, burn, like send them on quests, get new NFTs, like potentially lose NFTs, all that kind of stuff. But it's going to be like a staking game. It's not going to be like a, joystick moving around kind of thing right away. At least I don't think so, because they just started. But yeah, 10KTF. The interesting thing is it's a really low unique owner count. It's only 24% unique owners. That's really low for a blue chip. Unless there's staking involved, which I guess
there is staking involved, or not. I don't think or I don't know how
it's liquid staking, so you're not actually like transferring the asset out.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that 10KTF is like an actual long-term play. I mean, you look at the founding team; it's Beeple and Gaio Siri, and then a couple others, Figgy. And you have to think that it's just going to be a long-term thing. You have to also think that they're just basically in bed with, they're in bed with, Yuga Labs and, other.
Gaio Siri runs the whole world. My conspiracy theory is that he bought a majority stake in Yuga Labs in like July.
Well, he invested in the round.
I think he got in even earlier. That's my conspiracy theory. Just look at what Gaio Siri does. Gaio Siri is like, a master networker and like built right. And then all of a sudden, like Bored Ape Yacht Club strat, like they just start getting all of these celebrity deals. You know what I mean?
Well, Andy's Israeli. Maybe he's part of the Mossad. Like that's also something that, my theory is that this is actually a intelligence operation that's going down right now.
Well, I mean, you're part Jewish, right? I'm a WASP. I can't make that kind of joke. That does, that can't deliver that.
He's Israeli. I'm being like this isn't a Jewish joke. This is literally just being like I'm just speculating on the fact that he may be associated with an intelligence agency, and that's what's
well. Then
going
I just
on
got
right
nothing
now.
but great things to say about this guy. Awesome, huge fan of Israel. Nothing bad over here for me.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, 10 KTF, Renga, there's the connection there. That's why people are liking, but like, I don't know, like D-Farmer, I don't think he's ever mentioned like the 10 KTF connection. I think he just loves the artist and it's like a high conviction bet.
What you mean the artists?
Renga. For Renga.
Oh, for Renga.
Yeah, for Renga.
So D Farmer is very smart. I will say that he's actually
he's Anon, right?
Yeah, I think so. But he's also the reason that I sold my, one of the driving reasons that I sold my M2 serums when they got airdropped. He was the one that took the $100,000 bid, which was the Pico top of M2s for that moment, which was right when they dropped. And I'm like, this guy's selling. I'm getting the hell out. And I took 2 offers basically at that point. So that cost me at least $25K. But yeah, I mean, at some point, I mean, yeah, maybe he's the Pranksy of Renga. And I mean, if he's able to pull that off, then this is going to be like one of the biggest trades.
Dude, you know what I faded him on last?
What?
ENS digits.
Really?
Yeah, because he said he was buying all 3-digit ENSs for 3 ETH or below. And what did they go to? Like 15? They're at what?
They're like above 40.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. This guy hits 10Xs at like nothing, like nowhere. He's just like a masterful trader. That's like when I bought Renga, I wasn't like, oh my God, dude, like I'm in love with this project. I was like, D-Farmer bought it. Okay, I'm like 80% of the way there. Josh B changed his profile pic to them. Like I saw like a bunch of, I'm like, okay, here come, like this is like the smart money push behind it. And that's why I eventually Franelations, Pio, you talked about that before the show, right? Franelations like bought like 10 plus or something like that. So when you see these people like, and look at Franelations, right? Just has hit homers over the past couple of months, like even in a bear market. So that makes like the bet on Renga like a lot easier. 10 KTF, man. I just know so many smart people that are super, super bullish on it. And I don't know. There's something missing for me.
Their production is insane.
It's really good.
And I just think that it's really interesting. The only thing that's odd, though, is that we haven't seen those next phases. That said, this is like, we live in just, this whole environment is one of the weirdest like markets ever, basically, because they start off, you start off selling the NFT. The NFT, like from a technical standpoint, it's not the hardest thing to release. Yeah, you got to like get some artists and stuff, but like in terms of just on a broad basis, it's not rocket science. And then, so really what you're doing is getting talent to create art for you. They're doing it on an ongoing basis, like this one that's on the screen right now.
This is like high quality, like production. Like, I mean, it's not like Pixar, but I'm saying like this is not cheap. That's not cheap. Yeah, that's like Unreal Engine. Like
it's wicked expensive. Someone that is an artist that I know that has like talked to them has told me that it's wicked expensive.
Look at that. Look at that. The quality on his face there. Like, you know.
This is like legitimate, insane filmmaking, guys. This is like, you don't roll out of bed and do this.
They're hiring teams off of Netflix basically to come and join and create these things. I just feel like I
didn't even see this. Look at the quality on that.
I mean, look at this, man. Nick, I like what you just said about it's the weirdest time in markets, blah blah blah. How weird was life before Facebook and before social media versus afterwards, right? And
weird.
It happens gradually, right? Yeah, but at the same time, someone can go on Twitter and put something out in the world in a way that wasn't possible before. So this interconnectivity that exists now is crazy. How weird was the world before the internet and after the internet? They don't call it Web3 for nothing. This weird feeling is because it's a literal shift in technology that's like really, really major and important. If you boil it down to the fundamental, most fundamental way, It's actually the first time that there's a complete disconnect with money between state and, like disconnecting money from state. They talk about separation of church and state. This is separation of money and state.
Money and state. Ooh, Pio.
Never
you're the
happened
new,
before.
You're the new
Bitcoiner.
talked about Bitcoin and now he doesn't even have it in his.
What are you talking about? That, what I just said is a Bitcoin statement. It only applies to Bitcoin. Gensler just said ETH is a security, and it is, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not bad. Bitcoin's a commodity like gold or silver.
I completely agree with you. And I just think the next 10 years are going to be even more crazy. We're going to feel 10 years from now, it's going to feel weirdly cool, but also the older you get, like weird, like just looking at what Stable Diffusion can do now, imagine the kind of stuff like 10 years from now, you're going to see videos that were like generated by computers and you're not even going to know if it's real or not. You know what I mean? You're going to have,
you're focused on, well, I'm curious why you're focused on Stable Diffusion when that other thing that you get invite access to is, what's the name of the AI? Dolly. When Dolly is like
Stable Diffusion is for the people and anyone can get into the beta. And also I invest in their seed round. No, I'm kidding. I wish. I absolutely wish. There's some people in the comments saying about 10KTF that there's a rumor going around that if you have like 4 of the Genesis, you get to burn it for their PFP project, which is going to be made by Beeple. And so I am now currently floor sweeping.
Are you?
No, but that is intriguing.
That's super intriguing. Damn, I only have 1 Genesis item. Is
this accurate?
It makes sense. People can just turn around and put out a profile picture project whenever he wants. The Genesis floor is 0.62.
I liked it a lot better when I thought it was just a floor at 0.34 that I could pick up.
It's all about Genesis, man. It's all about Genesis.
I only have 1 Genesis, I think.
You're not going to make it, buddy. It's 4 at the door.
4 at the door. That would be, so that's crazy. The other thing that we have to think about, so I asked a question to NFT God on the morning show today because of his opinions. And I feel that there's different schools of thought in NFTs. Yes, and one 100%. Of course there are, right? It's not going to just be one school of thought. One school of thought is that the collectible side of NFTs has prices that are so over the top inflated that we've already seen the all-time high. They'll never go back to the all-time high, and that there will be a transition in NFTs away from collectibles being highly valued and towards like other things being highly valued. I don't think that I'm in that school of thought. And my thought is next time there's like a Beeple $69 million sale type accelerator event in NFT history, which inevitably is something's going to happen. If you believe in Web3, if you believe in NFTs, then you do believe that there will be another wave of mass onboarding. Just like CryptoPunks were the OG NFT and, value accrued to CryptoPunks. If you frame it that way with collectibles, then you have to think that value accrues to like the OG collectibles, as long as they don't have a history where it's like it was a startup and it rugged, right? And so 10KTF to me plays into that. And then if you partner that with other deed and if that actually manifests in the way that the bulls are expecting it to, then this is the OG metaverse fashion along with Artifact, in which case you have to think value accrues, especially to an item like the Genesis section of the collection. So I mean,
watch this all like play out and we're just like, damn, they fucking crushed it.
Like what, like 12,000 ETH.
We're like
12,000. I mean, also keep. You know what I thought of the other day is that ETH was $1 like 6 years ago. It was literally $1. Like
I bought it at 9 and then sold it at 11. That was smart.
That was a good trade.
Bitcoin was $1 like 12 years ago, and
that's 12 years is not that long. Like when people that like invest in things like real estate or like rare art. Right. They're looking at multi-decade horizons. You know what I mean? Which Bitcoin's just getting out of its first decade. Pio, I love what you were saying. I think that, yes, for a lot, there was a lot of mania in the collectible side of NFTs, right? That created a lot of price appreciation on a lot of projects that will never get back to it. But I don't think that, like, because the thing is that the whole thing is that the whole spiel is easy if you say that NFTs will instead be used for other things, because that just encapsulates like any potential use case for NFTs, right?
Yep.
But like when I look at NFTs right now, I think that the collectible market will always be strong, because in real life, the collectible market is always strong.
And
People's art, baseball artifacts, like old Magic the Gathering cards.
Baseball cards go through ups and downs.
Right. But real quick on the collectibles, digital collectibles are better than physical collectibles, just like your digital phone is better than the old physical phone. And so you have to think that potentially there could be a lot more value that accrues to these digital collectibles versus the physical ones.
Instant liquidity, worldwide sellability,
no degradation in quality. They can be plugged in to video games. They can be plugged in to technology products. They can be plugged into social media platforms. That's different than just having a Michael Jordan basketball card, you know? Nick, go ahead.
NFT Nick?
I don't have anything.
So anyway, the thing about all this stuff is it's really easy to lose conviction across the board. And again, that doesn't mean that 99% won't go to zero, but when you kind of look at the numbers and you look at what we're talking about Bored Ape Yacht Club, 10K TF, and like, you know, even if you say 4 dozen other projects, that's 50 total NFT collections. 50 NFT collections is a lot. We could probably reel off 50 things that are legit and be like, well, what else is there?
I saw someone tweet, and who was the best guest we had on the morning show?
DC Investor.
So DC Investor tweeted. He said he basically was tweeting about, he's like, the best thing you can be doing is accumulating NFTs when the price are really low or relatively low. And obviously he's pumping his own bags, but he's basically saying like, this is the same cycle that happened with crypto. And so your best thing is to go buy the best right now. And I kind of agree with what he's saying on that front. The bigger issue that I have is like when you look at it, and the other thing is timing it is tough. It depends on like what your persona is. My persona is one in which I sold some during the pump last year. I still have a portfolio, and it's cool that I have the NFTs that I have, but I still am concerned. Like, it's still a lot of money to have in NFTs, basically, just like from a rational standpoint. And if you think that, I was talking with some random finance people who I know in New York the other day, and was at dinner with them, and they were all kind of universally just being like, yeah, it's going to hell in a handbasket sort of thing. And when the general
is good.
Yeah. But the thing is like, no one knows, is it like, this could be like a 3-year, 5-year sort of thing. And during that time, I do genuinely think when things get really bad, that's when you're usually looking at some of those assets and saying, what the hell was I thinking? And that's where I still do fundamentally believe. I said it when I bought the punk. I'm going to hold this to a point where this looks stupid, basically. Like at some point, the trade's going to look bad. I'm fine holding that one, but I do look at some of my other things and say, you know, like how comfortable am I going to be being like, hey, I just went from $500,000 to like 100.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's all good. At least you pulled some cash out. I like how you guys were comparing it to like cycles in crypto. Look at this tweet, and I'll link it if you want to pull it up. It's pretty interesting, but Mike McDonald says, crypto's market cap exceeded the 2018 all-time high. Surely investors must have done okay. Here is how the top 50 coins at 2018 peak have done since. Only 2 are up. And I bet you wouldn't just off the cuff guess the 2 that are up. It's Dogecoin and it's BNB. It's Binance.
Binance.
From 2018 high till now. 3 are down less than 50%. Bitcoin, ETH, and ETH Classic. 10 are down 50 to 90%, like ADA, TRX, XRP, and like 30 plus are down 90% or more. So if you apply this same thing to NFTs and think that NFTs will have cycles like crypto, then the real play is, unless you think you're really, really good at finding the Doge and the BNB. And the funny thing about that is that everybody wouldn't be talking about Doge and BNB at the time. They'd be talking about Bitcoin, ETH, etc. Right?
Yep.
And it's actually Doge and BNB that were better. The fact that Doge has been since the 2018 top a better store of value than Bitcoin,
Bitcoin
is absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane to me, which makes you think that some of these, like, I just love crypto. But the point being is that if you believe NFTs will follow best like cycles like crypto, then the best thing to do is at the top of a bull to sell literally everything. And in the next cycle, you should be buying mostly new things, because that will have all of the price appreciation like this time around. Solana, right? Alt layer ones, Luna.
What's interesting, and I got to run actually. What's interesting is if you take the 90% down, well, that means Bored Ape should get down to about $48,000, $45,000, something like that, which isn't like that much. Like, that's not awful. If you're putting it in, and if you're viewing that, apes, punks as the BTC and ETH, then you'd even say 50%, which we've already gone below that. So we know it doesn't fall in that category. So take it in the worst case scenario, which is 90%. That means that punks and apes should probably get down to around 50K. And we saw it hit around 50K. Get really conservative and say it's going down 95%. You're down to 25K. So like the pico bottom may be 25, 30K for some of these different assets.
It's crazy.
I wish punks were their own company, because then I think it makes it's so much easier.
I gotta go, guys.
All right, I love you,
man.
You're the best in the business.
So Kicks, I mean, what do you think? You think punks go down to like 30 grand?
Man, I would definitely buy there. Definitely. I don't care how crazy the world's getting. I'd throw 30K at that.
Right. And I feel like I would too. And so does that mean it won't get there because everyone's going to say that?
Exactly. That's the thing, is like, I don't know. I think it's actually surprising that like punks got to 50 grand, but in all fairness, it got to 50 grand because of a flash crash in ETH where it went like all the way down to like 900 and back up to 1,000 in like 2 days. You know what I mean? And then it instantly got like repriced up pretty significantly. I don't know, me personally. Yeah. I think like just reading that like thread about the crypto stuff, and I've been saying it this year too. It's like the new stuff is going to have like the most price appreciation, right? Like Renga, you could get in at 0.3, right? And even in a bear market, you're sitting on a 5x, right? Digidaigaku, insane gains, right? Even stuff like Fishbowl. I mean, shit, if you minted, you're still up. You're still up 2x from mint, and you had an ability to exit for like a 10x from mint. And you see the same thing in crypto, right? It's like whenever there's like a new cycle, there's new stuff, and like the new stuff is generally, has the excitement behind it. It's like what you want to get in. So I think that like, but I think the difference though is art. I do think that like some of the art stuff is just that stuff. You can't compare that to crypto. You almost need to compare the digital art market to the physical art market, right? Like you don't want to be comparing it to like crypto cycles, because I do think things like, history and stuff like Fidenzas could like always, or a Chromie squiggle can stand the test of time a lot more than, as you said, like a profile pic that, is beholden to a company's success versus like an art piece that is just the art, right? But yeah, when it comes to like actual like NFT companies, I think like a lot of the new stuff coming out, and here's when I say like new stuff, it could be old companies launching new things and new projects, right? Like think about like if I'm just completely speculating here, but like, Cool Cats launched like a completely new type of thing but it's from the Cool Cats team, like, but it's a completely new thing, right? Similar to what Zed Run did with like the fish bowls. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just mean like new, like it has to be a new company. I just mean it has to be a new product.
I think, and then you just have to get in on those things early. Like Signal got in on the Matt Fury project heads at 1 Ethereum on Saturday before anyone knew what it was, and it ran up to 3. I'm not sure what it's at now. I think it's actually still doing pretty well. Let me see.
Yeah.
Here we go. Heads by Matt Fury. 1.76. So still up if you bought it at 1. And this is post reveal, which is kind of crazy. And I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's still such a small market that you still have those wins. Like even something like this Stoics and Art Project, this was at 0.3 yesterday. People, you just were able to buy this. Like people in our Discord were talking about this early. There's a 10% creator fee on it. So that makes it challenging to make money on. But there was an X copy 1 of 1 in there. So check it out. If you do highest last sale, where is it? Look at this.
Damn.
X copy. That's crazy that there was an X copy of 1 of 1 in there. Absolutely crazy.
Did someone like dump it, or like what's the history?
Someone accepted a 15 Ethereum offer on it after they bought it on the secondary.
Just hitting 150x.
Yeah, for 0.12. Pretty good. And it looks like there's also, what is this?
I hope the person that minted and sold that never looks back.
Yeah, probably. And then this one is a 4 ETH sale on the Moonbird edition, I guess. CCO. Oh, look at this collaboration, CCO collaboration. Justin Metzel, which I believe is the artist of Moonbirds. This is.
I think for me, like I've just learned so much. I mean, I knew it in the bull too, but it's so much more relevant in a bear market. Like you just don't want to be buying into pumps or like, you're going to get another shot at it. You're going to get another shot at it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these things, like look at Renga, right? People that didn't buy at 0.8 freaking out at like 1.8. It goes all the way back there and they're not buying the second time around, like you got to really be patient in the bear. If you chase, it's painful. I felt pain this week from chasing.
I feel you, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. It's Friday. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you have a good weekend. Make sure that you hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. We do these shows 5 days a week on YouTube. Check out next week. We're going to do Node Mode on Monday. This show with the 3 of us will be on Tuesday. Hope you have a good weekend. See you later.